Hello, welcome to the Weekend Review. We have 9 games coming your way in the next 2 hours in the company of Don Hutchison, Tim Sherwood and Chris Foy. And
It's a derby. The fans love it. The players love it. It's sometimes you can say it's only 3 points, but for our players to beat a team as Man City with the problems that we've had as well is fantastic. So I'm just delighted for them.
Our game is that we play really good in terms of come here and they wait and just run the ball and long balls to counter that with James and Martial. So we did our game, and unfortunately we conceded a goal when we didn't concede much, and they wait our mistakes, and that would happen in our game at home. They play 20 minutes of the counter-attack, but in general we make a good game.
You've seen the atmosphere in the ground today. It was unbelievable. It was so loud out there, playing out there. One of the best atmospheres I've played in. So credit to the fans and the way that they build it up and the way that they support us. But no, I think we'll probably look back at it tonight and be relieved it's over our rivals. But then in 2, 3, 4 days' time, we'll probably look at the league table and notice it's a big 3 points for us, and we've got to keep building now.
Few stats for you. So the first time in 10 years that Manchester United have done the double over Manchester City. They beat them 3 times this season because one of those legs of the League Cup. And it's the first time ever in a league season since he's been manager that Pep Guardiola has lost 7 games. Let's have a look at the teams. Maybe start with City, because bearing in mind it's the derby, and this week they've got 2 more league games, so they haven't got the Champions League for another week. Was that a surprising team for the derby, bearing in mind who they'd left out?
I think the strange thing for me, I mean, listen, he's got so many players that he can lean on. Obviously, no Walker, no Mendy at left back. But there was periods in the game where City kept the ball really well, especially early on. So it didn't really surprise me. I mean, I asked Leroy Rossini on Friday night about the form of Raheem Sterling up against Wan-Bissaka and why maybe, Tim, you wouldn't potentially do that. And his answer was, well, Phil Foden then would be coming in onto his weaker right foot, Raheem Sterling onto his weaker left foot.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen Raheem Sterling play against Wan-Bissaka a number of times, had no change out of him.
Yeah. On 1v1, you can't fault Wan-Bissaka. He's probably the best 1v1 defender there is in the league. I mean, he's a fouled winger, so he knows exactly what Raheem wants to do, and he's strong. And he's got that long right leg, and he just hooks it round you when you think you're in. The only thing I would suggest, and I thought he should have done more of, they have a load of possession. I think Raheem Sterling has to move without the ball more, and drift into them areas. And in the same time, he's getting away from Wan-Bissaka, but then he's moving on to the likes of Lindelof, who, if they were out here, he's bending his runs into there, without them balls and trying to find them little holes in behind the defence. They didn't do that enough. And I felt that he wanted to back himself. It was almost like an ego thing. Give me the ball. Yeah. I'll show you I can take you on 1v1. But unfortunately, there's only one winner, and that's Wan-Bissaka in that duel.
So they were more or less set up like that, weren't they? Which I think against Man City is the perfect way to go. As long as you've got attacking threats at the top end of the pitch. As long as you've got midfield players that can handle the ball, and you've still got that threat of these two. But it must be very hard to try and break that 5 down if they are really narrow. The obvious positions would say get round the outside and put crosses in, but it's not really where Man City are strong. So I thought the game plan was excellent.
Let's go to 1-0 then, and we've talked a lot. I know you love Bruno Fernandes, and involved again in the opening goal with a bit of smart thinking.
Yeah, I mean, is this a foul, Chris? You see Gundogan on Bruno Fernandes?
When I looked at it in real time, I didn't see any reason why Mike Dean couldn't give a foul. No, our most experienced referee, and there's nothing that's dissuading him from that decision. He's very close. He must see some contact. I think there's a foul, but obviously the game's now stopped, and we take it from there.
Yeah. Tim, and then the relationship between Bruno Fernandes and Anthony Martial's an interesting one, isn't it? Is there a trigger, do you think, when we see this? I'll play this on and let it go in the first time, because it's a great ball and a decent finish. Yes, it hits his shins, and the goalkeeper should do better, but from the training ground or off the cuff, do you think?
Do you know what I'm going to say, Don? Off the cuff.
Right.
I think off the cuff, I think it's eye contact between Fernandes and, look, they see them looking at each other here.
Yeah.
Like, they're having a little chat there.
And it's interesting, Aguero was there. Aguero may not be as sharp defensively.
Exactly. They know he switches off. So he's hooked himself onto Sergio, and he knows. But it's the timing of the run. He's marginally onside, but the weight of pass trajectory of that pass, it's almost, if he rolls it on the floor, Don, it runs too far.
Yeah.
He has to give that little bit of slowness for him to get there, Martial. And to achieve that, you have to lift the ball. And he just loops it and drops it onto his foot.
Is there anything from Bruno Fernandes' hand, the way it's up in the air? And maybe as soon as he drops it, that might be the trigger for Martial.
You can see Martial, it takes Aguero a bit of time to react, does it? Look, now he goes and Martial's already on his bike.
Yeah, he stole a march on him, didn't he? Yeah. You know, he was napping. He was in the wrong position at the start. You see Sergio now just marginally onside, Chris. I think it was a correct decision. Obviously, VAR checked it. Comes off the shin and Ederson has to do better. But this is what this little genius is giving him.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Fantastic.
I mean, Ederson should do better.
Yeah.
A goalkeeper of his standard should do better. And we've looked at this. Well, should do better. This one's a real strange one because it really looks as though it's a goalkeeping error, and it is. But me and Tim can both sort of see what he's trying to do. When you look at that picture there, as soon as he throws it, Scott McTominay's not even in the picture. So the goalkeeper doesn't see him. So what he's basically saying is to Mendy,
come onto the ball.
I'm not going to put it in there. I'm going to put it a yard or two for you, because you're going to be running.
Because this is the last attack of the game.
Exactly.
This is the 6-minute stoppage time.
So you're basically saying to someone, look, I'm going to throw it in front of you, like we would do as a pass when we want to drive on, because we want you to run into there. And from that picture there, you don't think there's a problem. And all of a sudden, Scott McTominay, who said afterwards, I read it, he was on it like a flash, and a very, very good finish. Not the hardest finishes in the world, but still a good one. But Tim, you made a great point on Mendy. When you see, why does he stop? Why does he stop? Why does he put the brakes on?
He's not gaining anything by stopping. You know, yes, he creates the angle now. Ederson, this is skipped on. It started raining, didn't it? But now, why'd you stop? Get to the ball. You know your goal's wide open. The only thing you can do there is trying to cost McTominay.
So keep going.
Get there. Get into his face and try and block it. That's all he could do. But he stayed off him and he made it easy just to bend it round him. He always uses him as a shield just to bend it round him. It's an easy finish.
Yeah. Because if he got right up close to it, you know, that much harder if I'm right up here. Now try and bend it round me.
Well, and he puts him off. And he would have put him off as well.
Go on. Go on. Right in there. Go on. You can hit me in the face. A great run at the moment, aren't they, Manchester United? This unbeaten run, 24 goals scored, only a couple conceded, and the signings, you could point to all of them as making an impact at the moment.
I mean, I think very, very good signings, all of them. But I think Bruno Fernandes is the one. There's something about his levels that he's dragging all the other players, these included, and the other players, up to another level.
Yeah.
Because he must be sensational in the training ground.
Absolutely.
What he's doing.
The only way these are better signings, and I believe, if you put 80 million on Bruno Fernandes and 46.4 million on Harry Maguire, then it's a better business. This kid they've got cheap. Unbelievable. He's improving the whole of the squad. They watch him in training. They know he's a reference. They know he is a different level to all of them. And I really mean that. He has hit the floor running in the Premier League. It's such a difficult thing to do. To come from a foreign country in Portugal. Yes, you're a superstar.
Mid-season as well.
Who's been excellent. Great first season for him. Look, everything looks positive at the moment for Manchester United. We give them a lot of stick throughout the period of this season. But it looks like now, at the right time, they're hitting some real form.
Well, talking about a player that I think got a lot of stick when he first come through the door was Fred. His performances, whether he was a little bit shy, not sure what his personality was like, he looks as though he's playing well. Chris, is this a penalty?
Yeah, I think it is a penalty, but not from that angle. It's really interesting. Peter Drury just mentioned in commentary he threw himself to the ground and then he saw it again. When you see it in real time, it just looks like he goes to ground. Mike Dean's got himself in a really good position and he feels as though he's dived. We know there's contact, slight contact, but the VAR's obviously formed the impression that wasn't enough contact to go down and he's deceived the referee. What you'll see, if you let it run from this angle, Don, I think... Yeah,
Otamendi's right foot there.
I think what it certainly is, it's certainly not a yellow card for diving. We talk a lot, Mark. I think on another game and another day, if the referee would have done nothing, it wouldn't have.
Is that not a clear and obvious error?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Clear and obvious.
He's tripped him.
The VAR obviously doesn't think that is a clear and obvious error because we're slowing it down, we're magnifying it and looking at it, and that is this. They've obviously thought, yes, there is a bit of contact. But that contact is not enough to make him go to ground.
Putting you up there looking at that, Chris, putting you in the VAR, Would you give a penalty?
Well, we're all individuals and different.
Would
so
you
when
give
you
a
see
penalty,
that,
Chris?
I think that's a penalty.
Would you give a penalty?
I just said, yeah, I think that's
Okay, but you made.
But we're all different, aren't we? That's the thing with it. You know,
Chris, you made the point there because you've slowed it down, you've magnified it. That is why we give a penalty. That's the only reason, yeah.
Yeah, in real time.
So why do we slow down and magnify the fact they're offsides for them, and we still give the decision?
Because there's no clear and obvious with offsides. Offsides are factual. You're either onside or you're offside. This is opinion-based,
I disagree
isn't it?
with that, but.
It's going to be a great finish to the season for Manchester United, isn't it? That's the point. This is, if you support Man United, this is actually quite exciting times.
Definitely. I sent out a tweet this morning. What you're seeing from Ollie now, you're seeing a team that have got great team spirit. Yes, when you win a game, the dressing room was buzzing afterwards. He's brought young, exciting players in. They're buying into his way. They're young. The average age has come down as well. So if you're a United fan, everything's positive.
Yeah, and they got a great signing in Bruno Fernandes. OK, on we go. Liverpool kicked the weekend off at Anfield. They knew 9 points, 3 more wins would be enough for the title. But a desperate Bournemouth team needed the points just as badly. Your commentary team, Jim Beglin and Jim Proudfoot.